Hi, Ashley. I'm gonna add you to the show, but we're not gonna go live for a little bit. I'm gonna take us off the screen. Yeah, you can hang out.
Yeah, but no, that's cool. I was just making sure that my phone could would have the capabilities of doing this before I actually tried it at 3:55. You know what I mean?
Yeah, hang out if you like, but I'm gonna change the screen a little bit.
All right, you do your thing. I'm probably just gonna mute you for now.
Yeah, let's do that. Same here. Tom,
Big Yeti.
just you and I are on. Ashley's on, but she's on hold. I'm going to put us on mute,
Can you guys hear me?
and we're going to leave this. We're going to leave this file playing on the background, yeah, until it starts, and then we can start it at 4 p.m.
Copy that.
Copy that.
Oh, okay, I can hear you.
What's
now.
up, Ashley?
What's up, man?
I'm
How
doing
you
well.
doing?
How you doing?
I'm doing well. Let me get my stuff set up.
Yeah, hey, we're gonna.
I'm doing excellent though. Living the
I've
dream.
been messing with technology all day.
Oh man, you're doing amazing.
You know, I've been changing the oil in my truck most of the day. So you and I, we're in the same spot.
Damn, dude. You know what? I changed the flat on my tire the other day, on my bike tire.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give that to someone else next time.
You're
I did get it done though.
like, this
Did
is
make it
a
happen.
one-time thing that I would like to do once and never again.
Dude, I'd like to get the light right. I need to officially have a studio soon, Archie.
Yeah, we gotta get you a light.
Well,
some
I'm
kind of-
doing the natural
Can
lighting
you light
thing.
open it a little bit? See what happens.
The natural light looks good, actually.
Your light is
Natural
perfect,
light.
Ashley.
Thank you.
Okay, now
Here.
close that
We'll
up
even
some.
get a little America in the back. Mhm.
There you go. I got the American.
Can you guys
shirt
hear me
on,
all right?
We can
Yeah.
hear you good.
Okay, good. Because I
Um,
put in my my
What if you
headphone
turn it all the way
because
the
it
other
has a
way?
microphone.
Yeah, we
You
can
have
hear
a headset on or what?
Yeah, I do. I have a. Check this out. Boom.
All
You
right.
know what? I think the other way was better.
Hey Tom, you look good, Tom. The background, you look sharp. Everything is on cue.
Is it all right or what?
On cue.
What?
You know what I
Headset?
don't like though? This glare, dude. That's
Yeah,
blocking out the.
sometimes that happens. The light, if there's a light pointing, can probably be pointed down to an angle or to that angle. You got to play with the light, but it's good. You're cool.
Oh yeah.
So it
there we
says
go.
we're live right now, big dog.
What's that?
So it says we're live.
We are. We'll officially start it at 4 p.m. But you know what? There's nothing like impromptu stuff right here. This is the real live, right?
But we are. Are we live right now to people that are on Facebook?
We are.
All right.
Yeah, it says everyone can see and hear you now.
They can see what's up. Well,
Yeah.
Ashley, your hair's looking beautiful today.
Oh, thank you. You know, I'm
welcome.
not in the gym right this second, so I actually get to wear it down for once.
You know what, man? I just fucking with this technology. I didn't have time to get a clean shaven, but you can't even tell.
No, I can't tell. You look clean to me.
It's clean enough.
Yeah,
Hey.
definitely.
Dude, I had that video up there, and for some reason, Archie, the editor, it had the banner backwards. But Chris pointed it out. Hey, and I went back to that app. I finally figured out kind of how to use it today. You know what I mean? And I figured it out, and I flipped it. And I fixed it. Check it out and see if it's fixed, dude.
Hey
Your
Tom,
point of view.
let me show you the new technology we have. I'm gonna play that video exactly on that window next to it, and when that video finishes, it's a
Now, my
4-minute video.
internet isn't the best up here, so let me know if you guys get a little turbulence in my voice or something.
I think yours is right on key,
Yeah, you're good.
to be
Perfect.
honest. Yeah,
Nice.
I think it's good.
Good. Well, I might ask you guys to repeat a question then, because I might hear something or not hear something because of it.
Yeah.
Mine sometimes, right now, it seems like it's perfect from my
you're
point of
good.
view. Sometimes I'll talk. It'll be like a second delay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Let's listen to that video, Tom. When that video is over, Caitlin should be logging in also. But let's just get that video going, yeah?
Dude, you're gonna have to play that video a couple times today, dude.
Absolutely.
Oh, look at those flowers behind me. Hey, can you tell I'm in my niece's room?
That's
She's got
cute.
the internet box, guys. So
Here we go, Tom.
you might get flowers.
You ready?
There you
Look at
go.
that handsome guy.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Wish I looked like that guy sometimes.
I'm Tom Owens with MMA Fight Pass, host of the HAMMERFIST podcast. Today, episode 101, guys. We've made it to episode 101. I thank all of you guys for tuning in and checking out our podcast. It means a great deal to us. Now, today, for episode 101, we've got two special guests. Both women are fighting out of Fresno, California. They both represent the Central Valley, and they're both Muay Thai specialists. One, Ashley Diner. Two, kaelyn Grigorieff.
Now, I'm not supposed to be able to hear this video, right?
Yes, you are.
And they put it all on the line. And
Yes, you are.
Can
Are
you hear it?
No.
Check it out.
Oh.
We'll work on that.
Dun, 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 dun.
That was a beautiful foot sweep.
Thank you. Thank you.
I love it. And I love this sweep from your guard right here, your open guard.
You like that too? Yeah, I was working.
That's one of
that
my
before that
favorite sweeps right
competition.
there.
Tom, can you hear the video?
I can't hear the music as well.
Well, did you see that beautiful foot sweep? Man, it takes a lot of time and effort in the training room to get down a technique like that. Now, our second guest on the show, kaelyn Grigorieff. Now, she hasn't been along in the game as long as Ashley Diner, but she's an up-and-comer, and we have high hopes for her in the sport of Muay Thai and MMA. Check out this clip of kaelyn.
Well, you playing with the volume, Archie? Is that what's going on there?
Yes. Yes.
So we're still new with this editing and stuff.
Let me lower this.
No worries.
Say again, Tom?
Yeah, hey, this is why we're doing this, though. You know what I mean? Like, we're all new to this. Look at that Camaro.
That's
Good
pretty.
Lord. You know this girl or what?
We trained together, actually.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Or we
All
did.
right.
We did years and years. I don't think there we go. So years and years ago, we trained together when UFC gym was still around.
Oh,
So
okay.
when I started fighting, which was about 7 years ago, she was on the fight team at UFC gym, and we were about the same weight. So we trained together for a solid, I'd say, a year under Sean. And then she went, "Hey, kaelyn."
Hey.
There she is.
Caitlin.
Howdy, Kaelyn.
What's
I
up?
was just talking about our lovely romance together.
What?
Now it's Kaelyn. It's Kaelyn, right? There's no T up in there. It's Kaelyn, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
No,
I'll
they
make sure.
were asking me. They were like, "Do you know this girl?" I was like, "Funny story. We've known each other for
Long
quite
time
some
ago.
time, actually. Long time ago. Yep, like
Yeah.
7 years ago. Something
Yeah.
like that. Well, my first fight was 6 years ago this month. So,
Okay. I think it was like 8 years since when I started. I think.
okay. Yeah.
Before you
but
got there, I think it had been like a year. I'm not sure. But yeah.
Yeah,
Sounds about right.
I think I started like sometime after that, though. Like a little bit after
Yeah,
that.
a little bit after that.
Yeah.
All right.
And so, and then
Well-
I trained for like a year, and then I fought my first fight.
Uh-huh.
I was going to say, welcome, Caitlin.
Archie, I
Caitlin.
think you're muted.
Welcome, Ashley. I'm muted. I am. No.
Check your mute button. That might be why we
I can
couldn't
hear
hear
you.
the video earlier. You can hear Archie?
How
Yeah.
about
I
me,
can hear everything.
Kaelyn? Can you hear me loud and clear or what?
Yeah.
All right, good.
Oh, I can hear Tom. I just can't hear Archie. What's up with that?
I'm going to mute
Archie.
and unmute myself. How about that now?
I can hear you now.
It would be, well, gosh darn it. Okay, there's a couple of things. I either log off or you, Ashley. It's probably easier if you want
What is up with this?
to log off and back
Try and
on.
join her, see what happens.
Those flowers, dude. Look at that. Danica. Kaelyn, this is my niece's room.
Okay. Nice.
That's not what I go by on the side. Sometimes I go by Danica.
Not on the weekends?
On the weekend only. This is actually my weekend. It's my days off. So
There
Oh,
you
okay. There you go.
Every once in a while, I'll go like that. Danica.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what, I'll leave the group and I'll come back in and see if I can hear Archie.
Try it
let's
out
do-
and see what happens.
real quick.
All right.
And then when she comes back, Tom, we'll do the official intro.
The official intro, ladies and gentlemen. Even though we're live already.
We are live. This is the real live after we start live.
Kaelyn G.
How does that work? So it's like live right now or live later?
You know what? We're live. This is new right now today, what we're doing. We're actually live. We normally don't go live yet, but we are live right now.
Oh, okay.
And because we're playing with some new technology. Hey, did you see that little the highlight video I made of you two ladies today?
I didn't get to look at it. I was racing home from work to get here.
We'll play it again during the day. I posted it on Facebook though. Maybe something you might want to keep or pass along or whatever. Or you might
Yeah, by the way, I'm a terrible promoter for myself. So I don't have pictures, videos.
You know what? You
nothing.
don't have a lot to go off of. I was able to snag
I
a
know.
couple of things though.
I don't know. When I go to the gym, I don't stand around and take pictures and stuff. I get
That's good though. You don't want to be doing that, man. If you got time to, hey, what do they say? If you got time to lean, you got time to be doing some shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's right.
If you got time to be taking pictures, you could be hitting the mitts or something.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Tom. I think we're ready. Ashley can hear us, right, Ashley?
I can. Like I said, my internet connection, I might get a delay from hearing you guys, but I should respond. Just give me a second or two to get the delay in.
Okay. Where you at?
I live in Squaw Valley.
Nice. There you
So
go, Tom.
It's kind of,
Lucky.
yeah, it's in the foothills.
That's beautiful right there.
Yeah, I'll give you guys a surround view in a bit after you
Yeah.
get enough of too much of my face. Then we'll go to nature.
We'll get some little nature in.
Are you like
Yeah,
Cowboy
yeah.
Cerrone? Are you like Cowboy Cerrone? You have a big old gym in your farm back there or your ranch house?
Not yet, but I'm working on it. A little bit. I got a room right now, but it's gonna be a warehouse eventually.
Tom, it's all you, brother.
It's all me. And we're already live, so you don't have to say we're going live. All right, guys. How's everybody doing today? I hope everybody out there is fine. Guys, we made it to episode 101. We're still new in the game, me and Archie and everybody else. We're still new to the game, but episode 100, if you guys saw it, 100 was big for us. 101 is even bigger because we're going to keep pushing and going and going and going. And, we got big plans with MMA Fight Pass and the HAMMERFIST podcast. And like always, guys, one of our favorite thing to do is to have flowers in the background.
Show us your flowers.
You guys know what's
There
up,
you go.
man. Right
I got
now,
some on my chair.
yeah, there we go, right there.
Got a nice
All right.
wall
Flower
behind
power.
me.
Tio goes for flowers from time and time again.
Kaylyn's
You know what I
ready
mean?
for an interview, looks like.
I'm in an apartment. I don't have any decorations or anything.
I know you got the straight white screen.
Yeah. Ready for my
Well, guys, you know what's up. We're always looking to promote the locals, and we're local. We're from the Central Valley. Me and Archie and the MMA Fight Pass gang. And even though we like to get high profile guests on, like Kung Lee and the Gracies and different types of guys we've had on in the past, we also really want to promote the locals, guys. That's one of our biggest things. We want to promote locals, and we want to get locals into the gym training, jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, kickboxing, boxing, whatever it is, wrestling. We want to get people off their asses, off the couch, and off the computers, and get into a gym and train. You know what I mean? And today we have two special guests, guys. I'm happy to have. We've had this guest on before, Ashley Thiner. Am I pronouncing your last name right, sis? Thiner?
You are. Thiner it is.
Thiner?
Mhm.
And here's the big one right here. Let's see if I can get it right.
You don't have to.
Another special guest we have today. She's an up-and-comer, guys. She's also representing the Central Valley. kaelyn Grigorieff. Is that right?
Yeah. That sounds
Okay, right?
good enough. I'll take it.
What would it be in native, though? Grigorieff.
Yeah, actually, you're right.
Just like that. So I did a little Google search today earlier. You know what I mean? I even looked at some of your fights and some of the announcers when they'd get to your name. They're
Oh,
like
man.
totally stunted. on the mic.
Yeah.
They said it wrong. You know,
That's okay. That's
I said
life.
it right.
It's not anything new.
What is that anyways? Is that some type of Russian?
Yeah, I'm full Russian.
Full Russian. I thought so.
Yeah.
I thought so. And you're not hard to get a lot of info on. If you're an opponent that's looking to fight you right now, there's not a lot to go off of. And
I'm okay with that.
good. It's a good thing. It's a good thing.
Yeah.
Well, Ashley, that's a whole different story. Ashley, with you got a ton of experience, and there is quite a bit to go off with you. I found some cool clips of you, and Ashley's a friend of ours, guys. She's really cool. She's been on the podcast before, and we want to thank both of you ladies for joining me and Archie today, especially for this 101 podcast, because we have all kinds of different people coming onto the show, and this next month is going to be real crazy for the HAMMERFIST podcast. A lot of very high-profile names in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and MMA. But like I said, the locals, we want to keep promoting the locals. And I want to see the locals just keep growing and growing and growing. Right, Archie?
Yeah, no, absolutely. You know, we have a couple of locals, but even though these girls here, ladies, have been fighting for quite a while, and they are at different levels, but I feel that they both, I mean, Ashley's already a professional, and I'm hoping to see Kaelyn one day get out there in that professional realm, even though we're kind of held back a little bit by that Mr. Corona. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
But in regards to local talent, there's some amazing instructors. Ashley's instructor and Kaelyn's instructor, you know, they were both taught by other people. They both, you know, the lineage kind of goes down in Muay Thai in the Valley, and I'm sure they can tell us a little more about it.
Yeah, I want to know about it because there's all type. I mean, everybody's got their own aspect of Muay Thai and where the different people come from. But you two were from the parts where you guys are from. You guys have both trained with some super legit people, and their blood, I call it a bloodline, but your instructors have came from real high level people. And let's start with Ashley. Ashley, talk a little bit about one of your main coaches and where he comes from.
So I train with Sean Moore. He's my main coach. He's my head coach. He manages me, does all of that fun stuff, and helps, you know, get me fights. And we get in contact with sponsors together. And I've been with him for just about 7 years, maybe a little bit more, because I was about 19 or 20 when I started. He learned from a Thai guy, and he's been doing it now just about 20 years. But he learned from a Thai guy that he doesn't tell me much about. He'll just give some lessons that he'll say, oh, my instructor, you know, would teach me this, and then he'd do it in his instructor's accent. But he trained at the height of it with people like Jasper. I don't know if you know Jasper, but he's from the Central Valley as well.
I've trained with Jasper.
And yeah, so they trained together. When Jasper trained to fight for Muay Thai, so did my coach. And they actually trained on the same team, which is really cool. So he got a lot of refined Muay Thai from that area, and was able to transfer a lot of it to me. And every once in a while, we'll actually hook up with some of Jasper's guys and go over there and spar and share the love, so to speak. But Sean's been doing it 20 years. He has some of, in my opinion, some of the best technique, like little detailed technique for my style of fighting, which is really helpful. You know, I'm a counter fighter. Obviously, I'm pretty long for my weight class. At 115, I'm 5'9". Like, that's stupid tall. So I tend to be a counter fighter, and we've learned a lot. He teaches me a lot of switch stance stuff now, which really helps with my counter fighting. And yeah, it's been a wonderful relationship. I've really enjoyed learning under him, and he always has something new to throw at me. If I tell him I'm getting bored, he's like, "Oh, we can't have that. We can't have that. Let's figure out how to unbore you." And so he's like, "Okay, go left-handed," and then we'll have me do some crazy combo left-handed. I'm like, "Okay, my mind's overwhelmed. I'm not bored anymore. Thank you." So, but he's a really cool guy, and he's been in the game a long time. He knows, he has a lot of connections and a lot of people that he knows just from being around.
Yes, Sean has definitely been around, and you mentioned a name that a lot of people don't know about, and that's Jasper. Now, way back in the day, back in the Tachi Palace days with the WEC, Jasper and his brother. I forget his brother's name because I only met Jasper a couple times, but a lot of the guys from here in Visalia that were doing pretty well, they were traveling to Fresno and training with Jasper and Jasper's brother. At the time, they were working with Pacific Martial Arts and Matt Smith. Jasper's super legit. He comes from a real good bloodline. Sure. I don't know whatever happened to Jasper and his brother. Are they still there in Fresno?
Yeah.
They
actually trained with his brother a little bit.
That's just
Kaelyn.
She's got
Kaelyn, do you know Jasper too?
Yeah.
Kaelyn, talk about that a little bit. Did you also train with Jasper and his brother?
Funny because I trained Jasper a little bit.
Not
you trained with his brother.
But I trained with Eric, his brother, a little bit at a Pacific for a little bit. But for about a year, actually, trained with him. He ended up not being able to coach anymore, so he's not there anymore. But yeah, it was about a year and a half that he was there. He was running the Muay Thai team for Pacific Martial Arts for a good while. Before that, his cousin Kenny was there running it, and eventually Eric took over for a while. So I know him.
I've seen Jasper at the Muay Thai, last two Muay Thai events that Madera Martial Arts held. I'm thinking, Kaelyn, you were there, and Ashley, you were probably refereeing there. So what team is that Jasper shows up with?
That's Bohawe.
So there's an existing Bohawe, Team Bohawe.
I'm pretty sure they're still training right now. That's I don't know how big the group is now, but they definitely have their own gym still. So that's where he's at. As far as I know, that's where he's at.
Yeah. A question for both of you. Right now, we're trying to get some training in. I know training's gone outdoors and different creative ways people are training. How has the training affected? Are you guys still training? And are you guys doing it outdoors, indoors, or how many days a week? Tell us a little bit about how your training's changed. Ashley, we'll go with you first. If she's around, can you hear us?
Looks like she might be freezing up a bit there.
Yeah. I'll go ahead and try to communicate with her on the side here. Kaelyn, tell us what's going on with you and your training and even your school, right? Yeah.
So right now, I think it started in like the end of March. I think it was. It's already been a long time, but so when all the gyms closed, there's a period of we don't know what we're gonna do. So we moved out to a park for a while, and still there now. But it's definitely not the same. Definitely a different element to try and do that. We even have to wear masks too, just because of the coronavirus and the mandates and all that, just so we don't get in trouble for anything. But that's been kind of hard. It's hard for me just because I got used to being barefoot on a mat every day, kicking bags, pads. It's different because I actually rolled my ankle a couple of weeks ago, so I'm actually currently injured right now. But with all the holes in the grass, it's just a different thing. And for me, it's been hard. I think it's way hard out there. Not that it's a bad thing, but it's definitely different. It's hard to get used to. It's hot, wearing the mask, can't breathe.
Oh gosh.
It's really hard work.
What about your footwork? You're talking about your feet. What do you wear? The tennies or I'm not
just normal shoes, but I'm used to not wearing any shoes at all. I'm used to walking in the gym, take your shoes off right away. You're on a mat, it's different. So my shoes, I'm not used to wearing them. They have a different feel, different posture, getting used to that, and just it's a little awkward.
Yeah.
Definitely different. The mask, I'm so sick of the mask, man. Just I work at Costco and we have to wear that mask every day while we're working. And I stock shelves and just lifting stuff the whole time. And even this morning, Archie, I went out for a little run. Today's my day off, and I thought I was going to get out there and fuck with this smoke. And so I had that mask with me. No, I can't do it, man. I just can't do it with the mask.
We canceled the last few days because of the air. It's pretty bad. It's bad enough wearing a mask, but to have smoke in the air too.
Right.
I think they said it's an equivalent to smoking a whole pack of cigarettes just being out there during one of those days. So
brutal. It's brutal. I'll be glad when it's over. Been a crazy ass year, man. That's for sure. Been a
The
crazy
year didn't even
year.
start. What are you talking about?
I know. It's been a crazy time since March. Put it that way. And man, dude, it's
I was gonna say,
it's worth.
I think March was nuts. Like everything shut down, but you saw things start to open up right after March. I've been really fortunate, and I'm gonna keep a secret who I'm training with, but there's a couple different gyms that have kind of been training underground, and I've been fortunate enough to be invited to some of those practices, and I've been able to keep my skills on point, in my opinion. And actually, my grappling is flourishing right now because the majority of schools that are open are jiu-jitsu schools. You know, not a lot of Muay Thai schools going on, but my coach is willing to meet me wherever I need to meet for one-on-ones. And then I've got, you know, one or two solid training partners that'll meet up with me, and I'm still able to get some sparring in. And then I've got my home gym also. So it's been a challenge. I think the biggest challenge is being self-disciplined at home. Is like, okay, you need to go run now and actually do it. I think that's the hard part. Going to a gym and taking a class for me is easy. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to push hard. I'm going to be told what to do. This is going to be great. And at home, you have to tell yourself what to do. And I think that has been a larger challenge for me. But so my job, I'm a sports official. That's what I do. And before I cut out for that moment, you mentioned that I refereed actually at the Madeira martial arts tournament. That was a lot of fun. That's probably one of the funnest things I ever did was referee fights. I've done softball for about 12 years, and I've done basketball for about 3 years. And so right now there's no work for me, meaning I have to completely focus on something. And it just so happens that I was able to put all that energy into training a little extra, doing some more push-ups, doing some more miles on my treadmill. Because right now, you're right, the smoke is ridiculous. And running hills out here is fun and all, but with the smoke, it's insane.
Hey, where you're at right now over there in Squaw Valley? Now she cuts out as soon as I want to ask a question. Yeah. It's all good. Kaelyn, you know what's up. It's the same thing. Hey, when you get in the gym with the class, sometimes it is easy. Yeah, it is easier.
You don't have to think. All you have to do is get there.
You just have to get there, and then the guy tells you what to do. And if you can go lazy or you can go with it, you can put into it what you want. But
or you just do your routine, what you're supposed to do, you know, every day. It's just, you know, all you got to do is get there. That's it. That's all the thinking that you have to do is get there.
Hey, it's when you're by yourself and you're out on the weekend. Like Archie knows this better than anyone too. When nobody's telling you what to do, hey, it doesn't matter what your feelings are telling you. It's the feelings don't mean anything, the good, the bad, or whatever. You still have to get out there. It's once you get out there and just get going and get like through that first 30 minutes of the run or the bike ride or whatever it is you're doing, the hitting the pads or whatever, that your body will get into it. But man, it's just getting the mindset to get out there and do it. That's a lot of people don't have that. They start to do it and then, you know, they stop.
You don't have your normal people around either. You know, since it started, like, yeah, you can go to a park and do what you do, but a lot less people are coming out though. So you're kind of limited on all your partners, you know, you're not sparring, you're not doing all the normal things you're used to doing and all the faces you're used to seeing every day. So it's different no matter what.
Well, tell me this, girls. I know you guys have trained together in the past and you know each other probably pretty well. When was the last time you two trained together? Been a while? Been a minute?
I know, what'd you say, like 8 years? Something like that? It's been a while.
Oh, that's a while.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
So Ashley or Kaelyn, are either one of you guys?
Like when I first started.
Okay. You guys ever fought in the same kind of tournament together?
I'm sorry.
You ever fought on the same card?
We fought on pack cards together. Yeah, we fought on. I think we fought at pack together.
Probably. I don't know. Actually, no, because I fought one fight with Sean, and that was it. And I don't think you were you first started after that. Unless I'm wrong.
Right. Well, I thought that we might have fought on a card for pack.
Oh, you're right.
Not
right,
with Sean, but like I was with Sean and you were fighting for somebody else at the time. And
You're right.
I thought that we both fought on a card once, but I could be wrong.
No, you're right. I actually remember that now.
Either way,
Okay,
hey, that
for sure.
pack.
Yeah, we have at least once.
Yeah.
A pack. Is it a full contact Muay Thai? Is that what pack is?
You know
Or is
what?
it like amateur?
Well, no, it's amateur. But honestly, when you look at the rules that they have, pretty much just kickboxing. What it is.
Because I saw you guys doing knees in there.
Yeah, you could do knees, but they say like you can't knee to the head. You can knee to the body, and then no elbows. So to me, that's just regular kickboxing. To me, amateur
Okay.
kickboxing.
But those knees to the body are pretty brutal still, right?
Oh yeah, everything hurts.
Yeah. No, it looked pretty brutal to me. I've never been to a pack fight before. Archie, have you been in any of those kickboxing matches? Archie's locked up on us. So what's the next step? If you fight in pack, like as a kickboxer or a Muay Thai fighter, what is your goal? Like, where are you trying to get to in Muay Thai?
Well, I mean that's amateur. So your next
I would say
probably pro.
IK?
I would say honestly that there's like a level. Yeah, I'd say there's a level because PAC does, no elbows, but there's plenty of amateur promotions that do have elbows. So I would say when you make the transition, that's a really good place to start. And that's where I started my first 4 fights with PAC. And then I started going into the tournaments and stuff that would allow you to have elbow strikes as well. And it wasn't until recently when I went to Korea last year that I was able to knee to the head. That's something that had been foreign to me for a long time. And then all of a sudden I was able to knee to the head because I was fighting professionals. I was like, oh my gosh, this is different. But it was cool because I'm tall, so my knee gets up there nice and high.
Wow, Korea. That must have been a nice little adventure, right? Man, I'll bet, dude.
Yeah,
Korea,
we talked about it a little bit. You and I talked about it a little bit
we
when
did.
I came.
We talked about it
that
a
was
lot.
when I went and won a gold medal. Yeah, we had that podcast about it. It was good stuff. It was a trip. It was fun.
Yeah,
it was
for
a
you
lot of
guys
fun. The
that
people
didn't
there
know,
are really, really nice.
Super respectful, super nice people. And you talked about the food, so you said the food was really good over there.
Hey, so I have a question here for both of you.
The food is so good.
Can you guys hear me okay, Tom?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Yeah. We all been training for a long time. We all have stories, with our friends and what we've been doing. And there goes Ashley. Boy, our internet connection today is kind of being a challenge.
It's that Small Valley internet.
You know what? It happens with this virtual stuff.
You know what's probably going on? There's so many people.
Yeah,
what's going on? There's probably so many people out there trying to use Zoom and getting in online training at school and the internet behind the scenes.
Is this Zoom?
No, this is not Zoom. No,
there's so many people right now.
There's too many.
General, using the internet, doing this Skype stuff or doing this kind of thing, which is cool. But I'm just kind of speculating.
So right now, too, Archie, like we're living in a time and era right now where this new technology, like we're just barely seeing the beginning of it. It's gonna get freaking crazy, dude. The technology and how we're doing these meetings right now. It's been around, but all of a sudden it just got thrown out there with the Zoom and the Skype and everything. But there's going to be so many different platforms to do this. It's going to get really, really crazy. So everybody's using it. It's like you said, all the kids are back in school. They're doing homework. My sister's a school teacher. She says that it's absolutely nuts right now, going with all these kids going through this kind of a deal. But I still love it, man. I think this is awesome, dude.
I think this is cool. Yeah.
It's awesome, dude.
I mean, we've been trying to, doing podcasts. I mean, after, what was it, March, when this thing of Corona hit us, we were like, oh, no, you can't talk to each other. Now all of a sudden this came out. I had been talking to Kaelyn for a while. We wanted to get her on the show and the Corona hit us. But now, I'm glad we all got to meet and we're on the show. Kaelyn, as I was saying, about your experiences, what is a good experience that you can share with whether they're women, young women, girls, because, you're punching, there's jujitsu, right? Okay, jujitsu, grappling, kind of moving like a snake, but you're like Throwing some serious
Yeah.
jabs.
I mean, I've tried jujitsu for a while.
But
And
tell us about your Muay Thai stuff, though. Your Muay Thai
okay.
experience.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say I'm not good at jujitsu.
I know, but we're
It's all
talking Muay
good.
Thai.
Hey, well, I want to learn. I want to know more about Muay Thai. You know what I mean?
So yeah, tell us about your, one of your best experiences and what you can share out there to, to the audience or to the girls out there that are trying to, maybe learn boxing or afraid to get hit. You're not afraid, obviously. You've had several fights.
I mean, doesn't mean I'm not afraid. I think everyone's afraid for sure. I'm always afraid, but I just do it anyways. I mean, that's the only way anything's gonna happen if you just go out and do it. It's been so. I mean, I started a long time ago, like 8-9 years ago. But it's kind of like slow moving for, I mean, I wouldn't say career because it's not a career for me. It's a hobby. And I'm honestly not even trying to go pro. I'm going to do this as long as I can. Your body only has a certain amount of years on it to be able to do it. And I can already feel it. I've already gone through a lot of injuries. So that really holds up the process. But my experience it's been an uphill battle the entire time. And but the good experiences though is getting ready for a fight, whether you win or lose, however hard it was, and whatever the outcome is. I feel a sense of accomplishment just by going through the training, getting there safely, healthy, getting through it, not having to leave on a stretcher is a big thing to me. It makes me happy because you see a lot of people that just sometimes it's not their day and they get taken out, and it's hard. That's happened to me too. I mean, I've lost more than I've won, that's for sure, and those were tough, but I was still happy with all of them, even though a lot of them weren't good.
How long will you be competing? Then it sounds like if you're just going to keep competing for as long as your body will let you at this level, which is cool, amateur, it's going to keep you in shape forever, though. Is that?
Well,
is that
I mean, even when you look at amateur compared to pro, like, yeah, there's some of the world's
a fight.
best.
Not everybody can get in there, but go ahead.
Right, and then like for pros, I mean, some of the world's best are out there. So once you go pro, you're in that pool. That's what you're aiming for. And even in amateur, you can still come across pros because a lot of people sandbag each other, and it happens. But I mean, you really can't think that one fight is safer than the other. It's still a fight, so it's risky no matter what.
That word amateur doesn't mean anything because even in MMA, right now we have amateur circuits in MMA, and it's basically these kids just aren't getting paid. There's a name.
You're just doing it for free, is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Hey, but I've seen some badass dudes go into that amateur cage, like, what I mean? They can say amateur or whatever. They've got 10, 15 fights. You know what I mean? That's a lot of experience.
I mean, it just comes down to you're in a ring or a cage with someone that wants to kill you. I mean, what? That's pretty serious, You're
stepping in there against another woman or another man that has nothing to lose. You guys both have nothing to lose. You're both in pretty much nothing but your underwear. You're in front of a crowd of thousands of people, usually. Talk about that, Ashley. When you get up into that ring, even I know you've had a ton of fights already, but still you have to feel it. When you step into that ring and you're in front of all those people, talk about that feeling that a person gets, because unlike the training just in the gym or in the park or wherever you're doing it, once you step into that ring and all those eyes are on you, talk about that a little bit. How do you feel when you get in there?
Sure. Yeah, so it changed around fight 10, right? Like fight 9 or 10, something really changed for me.
Nice.
Yeah, like fight 10. That was I got about 23 fights right now, and about number 10, something changed mentally for me, and it went from nervous to being able to channel it into aggression. And it's weird. There's this sensation you get like in the back of your head. And I'm sure you've felt it if you've ever listened to really good music where you're feeling it, and maybe you're working out or something, and you get this tingly sensation in your scalp. Yes. Yep. So before every fight, I get that.
It's that dopamine.
And it makes it's dopamine, it's serotonin, it's all of the good chemicals that tell you, hey, this is what you're supposed to do. This is what you're supposed to be doing. I definitely get that sensation every time, and I can almost force myself into it just by thinking about a fight. Like if I watch one of my fights on YouTube, I'll tense up. And like, if I'm sitting there watching it with my girlfriend, she's like, honey, you're not fighting right now. You win this one. It's okay. I'm like, I'm still there. I'm still there. Because mentally it puts that adrenaline and everything, it puts your body through. I'm addicted to it now, but at first I had no idea how to handle it. Like, just the immense pressure. I think it's worse for me when I have people there that I know. Like,
Yes.
when I was in Korea, nobody knew me, and they're all watching overseas and whatever.
It's probably
But when
better,
I have
right?
30 people
Probably
in the
better for
crowd,
you.
yeah, it's easier. It's easier. I'm like, okay, I'm just here to smash. Nobody's expecting anything of me. But when I have like 30 people in the crowd that I know personally that
Hey,
came,
your family
drove
and
3
friends.
hours to see me, that's when I get the most nervous. That's when I get like, oh, I got to do something to perform for them. But something I've learned is that if you focus on other people or like trying to do something for other people, you've already kind of lost the fight. Like, you have to focus solely on yourself in those moments. You go to work every single day doing this thing, and you have to be able to get into that mentality of, this is my everyday thing. I'm just doing this just like every other day. This just happens to be payday because I get to fight. And not necessarily because I get paid, but because I get all of those feelings in the back of my head, that adrenaline, that dopamine, and it's something that I'm addicted to. So I feel like it's payday every time I walk up to fight.
And a paycheck. Hey, if you guys have fought or done a jiu-jitsu competition or kickboxing, wrestling, whatever it is, after all those months of training or the weeks of training, and that paycheck doesn't really mean, is nothing compared to that feeling that you get that she's talking about, especially in front of your friends and family. Man, when you go in there, if you've put in the work and you know that you've done the hours of training, and then you get to that day and you feel good and everything, man, win or lose, you come out of there with that feeling. There's nothing else like it in the world. It doesn't have to be a striking match. It can be a jiu-jitsu match, right, Archie? Archie, you've competed on high-level jiu-jitsu stage, and you've got gold medals. Like, talk about it a little bit.
Well, it's all about training and preparation, and it has to be in you, right? I mean, the competition is not for everyone. I love to compete. I love to train, and that's why you too. We're all here on the show because we all like to train, right? And training, it just kind of leads to competition. And if you want to do it, you'll be, you can compete to train, or you can compete just to compete. And I think all of us on this show here compete sometimes, mostly to train. I mean, train to compete. And it's really fun. And what? Hold on, we got a surprise guest.
Uh-oh. Whoa, hey. Yeah. What's up, Sean?
Not much. How's it going?
I thought I'd surprise you guys.
Good.
Thank you for joining us, brother.
Yeah, anytime.
Hey, you know what? I had a question for Ashley and Kaelyn, and Sean. I know this is a Muay Thai show, but this is also striking.
Yes, sir.
One of the striking sports, I guess, if you will, that came is the bare-knuckle, right? Bare-knuckle fighting. Would you, Ashley, or Kaelyn, ever do a bare-knuckle fight? Have you considered that? Ashley, go ahead. We'll start with you.
I would. Like, I am a glutton for punishment. I know my coach
Good
is like,
Lord.
don't do it. He would never let me. But I would hop in that ring in a half a second. I just love fighting. There's nothing I can do about that. Like, getting hit and hitting people, there's just something about that chemical reaction when you get a little bit rocked a little bit and you're like, ooh, I'm ready. Let's do this. You get that little fight in your eyes. You feel something in your stomach that you don't feel unless you get hit a little bit. Yeah, I would do it. Hands down, I would do it.
All right, Kaelyn, give us a secret. Would you ever train for bare knuckles? Some lady, I won't mention her name. You guys know their name. She just got $1 million contract.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I have my opinions on that one.
I follow her on Instagram.
Tom, you know
that?
Oh, go ahead, Kaelyn. Tell us about your secrets about bare knuckle fighting. How much you want to do it.
I mean, I've never thought about it, but I've seen it come out. I feel like that's everybody's last resort as far as a career, getting paid, being on a show and stuff like that, and that's fine. But I mean, I don't see the point in me doing that. I am trying to save my body as much as possible, but the reason why I'm trying to save my body is so that I can compete longer. I feel like by competing in bare-knuckle, you got a really short life there.
Yeah.
It's definitely something different. Some people like the idea of it. Some people don't. I get it though.
Yeah,
I get
I
it
think
on
it's
both
also
ends.
yeah. He's like, go for it. I think it's also
Yeah.
important to mention like the MMA compared to Muay Thai in regards to how your body, how your body deteriorates. In MMA, there's a lot more ways that you can take punishment, and the gloves are smaller, and you don't wear headgear ever. So there's a lot more risk in MMA, which is why you were saying the amateurs in MMA are just not getting paid. That's the difference, because the risk
Yes.
and danger is all the same. Whereas Muay Thai, your first 3 fights in Muay Thai, you have to wear headgear, right? And then you can opt to take off as long as your opponent opts as well. And the same thing with shin guards, right? Headgear and shin guards. And so if you decide your entire life that you want to fight in headgear and shin guards, you can still do Muay Thai, amateur Muay Thai, and fight in headgear and shin guards your whole life and keep your body from deteriorating like it would if you were doing MMA.
Sean,
Yes, sir.
what do you think about that, Sean? Hey,
Um,
if a guy talk about this real quick. When a guy has headgear on and the shin guards and all that, well, mainly headgear. When you're taking hits with headgear, is the brain still getting battered like it would without?
I'm not a big fan of headgear, and it's not a popular opinion these days. But I've worked with a lot of fighters over the years, and you see them get knocked out with headgear, with or without headgear. They're getting knocked out. Headgear will not stop you from getting a concussion. It just won't. The science right now is about 50-50. 50% of the science will say yes, it does. 50% will say no, it does not. If you're training Muay Thai, headgear is going to keep you from getting cut when you're training elbows. That's all it's going to really do. A lot of the promotions where the IKF says amateurs have to wear a headgear for the first 3 fights, they're basically just making sure those new amateurs that just started fighting are not taking too much trauma and not getting cut. Because you can even get cut from the gloves. Leather gloves will cut you. Your first 3 fights, you're not doing elbows anyway, but they're just trying to mitigate the new amateurs from getting too much damage.
I get it, man. It's an interesting aspect when people see the headgear and they think it's saving them and everything.
It doesn't.
Yeah, it does. You're still getting ringed, man. You're still getting the brain's not meant to get hit. Basically,
And to add to Ashley's point about the training for MMA, the training for MMA as opposed to training for Muay Thai, the training is a little bit more grueling. Just doing an 8-week MMA camp is a little bit different than an 8-week Muay Thai fight, an 8-week Muay Thai camp. There's no real way to do a soft takedown. You're getting picked up, you're getting slammed. When you're doing Muay Thai fighting, you can pull your kicks a little bit, you can pull your punch a little bit. It's really hard to do jiu-jitsu or MMA at 50%. You can do it, but not in a real fight camp situation. So just MMA training in general is just a little bit more grueling.
I was going to ask Kaelyn a question because you fought, I think, all of your fights with a headgear, right?
All of my fights. Yeah, all of my fights I've had gear on.
What's your head experience with your headgear fights?
I hate headgear because you can't see. As far as getting hit, I mean, in my experience, I haven't been hit hard enough to feel you still get hit pretty bad with headgear. I mean, I felt pretty good after most of my fights as far as like any trauma goes, but I don't know. I don't like it because I can't see. But I've done 5 fights so far, all of them with gear. And yeah, you can opt out to do with or without, but I think you have to have a winning record, and I have a losing record, so I don't think I had that option so far. But thinking about it, I'm still undecisive on what I would do anyway. I don't know.
Interesting.
People all have different opinions. I have a fighter who doesn't want a headgear because they can't see, which is one of the biggest complaints with the headgear. but they want to wear shin pads. So everybody's a little bit different how they want to do it. Ashley would prefer to get that crap off as fast as possible so she can do as much damage as possible, but that's the nature of the beast. But yeah, everyone differs how they want to do it. For me, when we have sparring in the gym, I leave it up to the individual. You want to wear headgear, fine. Don't want to wear headgear, don't wear it. One of the biggest drawbacks to the headgear is not being able to see, and that causes you to get hit more.
Right.
You come and you can't move, can't evade, you can't block. You think you're doing good, and all of a sudden, back. Especially if you're sparring Ashley, because she's got a mean front kick that you can't see coming.
Now, yeah, it definitely cuts off your peripheral vision. Now, you mentioned something I wanted to ask you, and that's just like you said, leaving it up to the individual if they want to wear the headgear. How does it work if a Muay Thai fighter, they're amateur, and they want to take that next step to pro? Who makes that decision, Sean? Is it the coach? Is it the fighter? Or is it the organization?
It's going to be the coach and the fighter. And then in order to go pro, you got to have a certain license from CSAC. It's like a $300. Back in the day when I got mine, it was about $250 or so. Nowadays, to go pro, you have to have someone with that license sign off on you, which is kind of weird because back in the day, they didn't do that. You kind of did some Indian fights and you were a pro because you got paid, and then you kind of went off into WC or UFC or WCK, or you just lion fights or Muay Thai, MMA, whatever you were doing. It was a little bit Wild West back then. Nowadays, you have to have that license, and someone with that license has to sign off. It's a little weird. Hopefully they do away with that, but it's going to be the coach and the fighter. And all the fighters want to go pro. I take that back. Most fighters, I want to be pro, because they think it means something. And it really doesn't mean anything. Talking about the bare-knuckle fighting, if they want to pay me $1 million or pay Ashley $1 million, I'll put her up against 12 gauge right now. In a bare-knuckle stand-up fight, I'll put Ashley up against anybody. If they want to pay $1 million for it, great.
Yeah. Oh, dude, especially, you're prize fighting. If it's $1 million, dude, come on, think about it.
The only reason to go pro, especially in Muay Thai, even in MMA these days, there's not a lot of places to fight pro these days. And it's kind of a buyer's market. So the promoters have a kind of a monopoly on they can pick who they want, because there's so many people coming into fighting and trying to fight, trying to be pro, trying to climb the ladder. If you're not getting paid, what's the point? And if you're getting paid $500 to be a pro one time, it's going to really hurt you in the long run, your fight career in the long run. If you don't get some good amateur fights, or you don't get a promoter who's willing to put you on the card and give you a multiple fight contract, it can be difficult.
Talking about Muay Thai, the industry, the multiple fight contracts, I had a question in regards to what is going on with the Muay Thai industry. What better folks to ask in regards to events? We see other sports, right? Yeah, look at you. and what about at the pro level and at the amateur level? I don't think too many people or organizations are going to hold anything anywhere in amateur. But what's going on with, I guess, at the pro level? Anybody anywhere doing anything?
I think Lion Fights is holding, or Lion or LFA might be holding fights. But as far as amateur goes, you won't see an amateur fight in California, at least in California, right, for till next year. Even in Florida, in Florida, you're allowed to fight. The commission there will let amateur fights happen. But Steve Folsom, head of the IKF, he's already stated he's going to go off the California mandates because he feels like CSAC has the stricter policy. So he's going to err on the side of caution and go to stricter policies. No amateur promoter is going to pay to have every fighter tested twice at $200 or $300 a test, and their coaching staff, and not allowed to make any money off of spectators. Not being able to have spectators, you won't see amateur fights.
Right. Yeah. No, that's
very few pro promoters will do that as well. If they're not allowed to have people come in and watch the fights, they can't pay the fighters. The pro MMA at the lower levels has become kind of a cottage industry. The fighters not really getting paid to fight. They're getting paid, but if they don't sell X amount of tickets, they're not getting paid.
Yeah, I have a second part to that question. As far as just in general, the UFC brings in fighters with all talents. Who are the best for all you guys? Whoever knows Muay Thai fighters from the past, from today. You know, we can name a few jiu-jitsu players from the past and today that stand out in the UFC. What about for the Muay Thai discipline? You know, who's out there that we can name and just kind of recognize?
Anybody else want to take that one?
As far as UFC goes, I don't know, but I know one championship has a lot of fighters out there. They actually do Muay Thai fights in one. So
I'll take.
One championship. So is that in Japan?
Yeah.
Singapore.
I don't know.
Well, you got Janet Todd.
Singapore.
Yeah, one championship is in Japan.
No, it's Singapore.
But
Singapore.
you got Janet
Ashley, go
Todd who
ahead.
does a lot of stuff for one championship. You've got you've got Janet Todd does a lot of stuff for one championship, and she's actually here from California, which is pretty cool. And then you got people like Nilly Block, who fights for IFMA, has been a IFMA champion for like 6 years in a row, and she fights. Sean, help me out. She fights out of, is it Israel? She fights out of Israel. So she fights for IFMA, and IFMA is the highest you can get when it comes to Muay Thai, right? Because we don't have the Olympics yet, which is something that IFMA is trying to do. They're trying to become more Olympic style, which is why in the IFMA fights, like my Korea fights, you're going to see headgear and shin guards. There are multiple fights over multiple days. It's a tournament. They're trying to make it so that you don't get hurt doing something stupid like jam your toe on somebody's shin or get a little bruise on your shin and now you can't fight the next day. You know?
Yeah. So, you know,
So
understand
because you're fighting multiple times in 2 days, 3 days, they have those safety precautions. But Olympic style, it's the same thing for boxing. Same way, that's the goal. We're trying to get a provisional Olympic license right now in the Muay Thai sport because it should, in my opinion, be represented in the Olympics.
That would be
The
so
scoring
sick if
system
it
is
was.
just going to be a little different. And right now, IFMA is the one that's trying to do it most like the Olympics in terms of scoring and type of competition.
Sean, do you see it going there?
Yeah, eventually Muay Thai will be in the Olympics. I think it's going to be not this one, but the next one. So about 6 years. But more to your question, a lot of real Muay Thai guys don't go into the UFC, don't do a lot of MMA. There's guys who are in the UFC that have some good MMA. The champion 185 Asanya, he's got a lot of kickboxing stand-up fights. You'll see more true Muay Thai people doing one championship because they do mainly stand-up. You have Snam Fairtex, Ashley mentioned Janet Todd. There's a new one that with Glory going out of business, there'll be more people signing with one championship because they do this a lot of stand-up. There's a new girl, Minskin, I can't pronounce her name. What's that?
Vanessa Mexican?
Yeah, she just signed with one, and she signed at 52, and that is a scary, scary prospect. I would like to know what I can't think of her name. Damn it, Time Bomb, Tiffany. I would like to know what she's going to do. That would be interesting
Yeah,
to see.
she had the belt.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see who she
They
signed
went
with.
bankrupt, I guess.
Yeah, Tiffany had the Glory belt. So it's going to be interesting in the stand-up world to see what some of these fighters do and which direction they go. But I don't know if they'll go to UFC because they spend so much time working their stand-up that they don't work the ground. They don't work the wrestling. So,
you mentioned Brazilian. So, and I just want to give praise to Muay Thai because, I've learned it first here in the Valley when we all know the Jasper. That's when I first heard about Muay Thai coming into it. Well, I mean, of course, I don't want to chop his name up. I'll let somebody somewhere far more.
Sassarpai?
Yeah. Malipet. Thank you.
That's OG.
Yeah, but to talk about Muay Thai, the skills of the UFC. Okay, so there's not too much of a crossover, but oh my God, there are so many people from Brazil, USA, and across the country. But who would you say is? I would think Brazil is utilizing Muay Thai quite a bit. You know, and not and USA in a close second. But who are the current UFC fighters using Muay Thai like to really?
Brazil has a rich Muay Thai history that people don't really know about because Brazil is the birthplace of jiu-jitsu, right? So when you think Brazil, you think jiu-jitsu. But they going back to the Valley Trudeau days where it wasn't UFC, it was everything goes fighting. They got a good Muay Thai backbone. They got a good history with Muay Thai. Some good Muay Thai fighters come out of Brazil. And they have a pretty strong international team as well. And what people don't realize with the IFMA fighters is if they go and they win a lot of, which doesn't happen in the United States, but what happens in some of these foreign countries like Brazil, if they go and they win a medal, this happens in the Eastern Bloc states, all the CAN states, countries as well. If they win a medal, bronze, silver, gold at an IFMA tournament, they get paid. So they'll get $1,200 a month or $1,500 a month. So what that allows them to do is quit their jobs and just train full time. And that's how these international teams get so strong with Muay Thai. When they start winning medals, they're fight. Like Ashley won a gold medal in Korea, and given if she had that opportunity, they would be paying her $2,000 a month or so for winning a gold medal. She would just take 6 months and go train in Thailand or go here, go there, just not have to work at all and just spend her whole time training. When you do that, you get better and better really fast.
Tom,
I'm just checking it all out. Hey, have any of you guys ever been to Thailand?
Mm-mm.
No, but I almost left about a month ago. But I don't. That's the whole quarantine thing, and I don't want to get into that because I got my own.
All right.
I got my own attitude.
Thinking of the Brazilian Muay Thai though, like one guy I could think off right offhand, Rafael Cordeiro. You know, he's the coach of a lot of you guys know him. Anderson Silva, Vanderlei Silva, Pele, Lambini, a bunch of different Brazilians. Where did do you know where Rafael Cordeiro? Where he's from Brazil? Where did he get his Muay Thai background from, Sean?
I don't know, but he's
somewhere along the line, though, right?
Yeah, he's one of those Brazilian guys from back in the day that just have that strong Muay Thai base. The Hua brothers, strong Muay Thai base.
Yeah, Shogun and Ninja.
Yeah,
hey.
They might train with Cordero as well. I'm not sure.
Yep, they all trained. Those guys all trained together at one point. But Vanderlei Silva is probably one of the better examples out of that fight team.
Oh yeah,
I don't know if he was Cordero. I think Vanderlei Silva was Black House with the Nogueiras, but I could be wrong.
Yeah. They all at one point those guys all had mingled together
with Cordero.
In some way or with each other, or with each other. Hey, but Vanderlei's knees and elbows and his clinch game, brutal. It was brutal. Beautiful.
He's a very violent. He's a very violent person. Yeah, very violent with the Muay Thai.
But would you say, you guys have already pretty much said it, but America we've taken on Muay Thai pretty well, haven't we?
Yeah, we have. The Valley in particular has been lucky to have some of the really great technical Muay Thai teachers. Malapet, the Tayabas, so we've been lucky here, but in general, the United States has really adopted Muay Thai. With the rise of MMA back in the day, people looking for that advantage, looking to learn how to strike, it's kind of grown from that. But yeah, the IKF has done really great things. About 10 years ago, I had a hard time finding fighters' fights. Like, where are the Muay Thai fights? They were very hard to find fights. The IKF started promoting amateur Muay Thai, and now there's promotions. We spend a lot of time fighting, and at one time Ashley would fight almost every month. And now, so there's a lot of promotions up and down the state where you can fight amateur before all the craziness happened this year. But yeah, so the United States, the USMF, Michael Corley has done a great job trying to promote international Muay Thai as well. So I think the United States in the future, even a lot of Thai coaches are coming from Thailand to the US. In the next 10 years, I think you'll see a big explosion of Muay Thai.
That was a really good year.
Yeah, in the US. it'll be quite.
You know, Tom, I wanted to say that in the Valley, you know, we have Valley Pet, Three Kings, Jasper, and Manny Mancha, right? Kaelyn works out with Manny Mancha, and all these four that I mentioned, and please mention if there's any more. And there probably is, you know. Oh, I'm sorry, Keo. Team TM. Yeah, they all produce fighters. I mean, they're all producing people to go out and train, right? And so it's kind of cool to see the Valley growing in that respect. And I guess that's why they have Madera Martial Arts created a tournament just recently.
Hey, and if you notice, hey, these guys, all these guys, unless you're in the game and you're actually out there training, you really wouldn't hear about these guys. You would Malapet, Keo, Jasper, Eric, all these different guys. Yourself, Sean. It's not really well advertised. You know what I mean? You have to be in the mix. So, man, all you guys, all you Muay Thai coaches that are out there, especially you, Sean, you're staying in the mix. Man, we thank you guys for doing what you do. Ashley, Thyner, Kaelyn, thank you so much, you know, for coming on the show. Thank you for your time. We're going to have you guys back on the show more. You know what I mean? You guys are now brothers and sisters of the show. And
that's awesome. Yeah. Have us back as much as you'd like. We'd love to be on. A lot of people think fighting, they think MMA. So Muay Thai gets kind of overlooked.
It does.
It kind of, especially in the Valley.
So many people that think I do MMA still.
Yeah. Say that again, Kaelyn. People think you do MMA?
Yeah, still.
No.
So what is it that you do? Tell everyone.
Man, it's so hard to even explain now. I feel like a broken record whenever someone asks me. I'm like, no, it's Muay Thai.
You don't on here, though.
What's
it's
that?
not on here, though. Hey, one thing, Kaelyn, we didn't talk about is, dude, when I was stalking you, going through your Facebook pictures, hey, now I was just trying to find pictures and stuff.
I'm sorry.
You drew my attention to that beautiful, I believe it was a Camaro, that muscle car. Is that a Camaro?
Oh, yeah.
16.
Good Lord. Hey,
I restored that in high school. So.
That was awesome. So hey, real quick, just talk about it, because it's not every day that you hear about women that fight or get into a ring or train or do MMA, grappling, or Muay Thai, or whatever. But you're an auto mechanic, right? You're an auto technician. You train for that?
No, currently, I'm not doing that. I went to college for that right out of high school.
Oh, nice.
But you know how to do it.
And then decided I didn't want to do that for work. So the reason why is because I don't want to go to work and break my back and then try to train after work. I figured I could train more, go sit at a desk all day, rest, then go train at night, and it'd be better. And I can keep doing, the car thing as a hobby.
There you go. But
yeah,
you can do it on the side, though.
A lot of fun going through school and stuff for that. So.
Awesome. Ashley, before there it is right there. Look at that. Hey, guys, I don't give a damn, dude, what you got nowadays. A new Tesla, the new whatever, the what. That is
American muscle.
Right there. That's beautiful.
Priceless.
Ashley, you told us you would give us a little shot or a little view of the nature right there. Before we shut this baby down, give me a little view of the Squaw Valley background right there, please. If you can, maybe not.
Got a little delay.
The front yard. Beyond it, you got some hills over there. They're all pretty brown right now. Oh, that's my truck. The further I would get away from the house, the worse it's going to be for my internet. But we're going to try.
That's the shit right there.
This is my view every morning when I do my coffee. This is my view. I can't see my neighbors, which I prefer.
I'm jealous. I'm jealous.
Lots of room to
There's
run.
plenty of hills to
Yes.
run.
Wow.
My dogs love it.
Run.
I'd be running out there every day, man.
Lots of room to go for a run.
Not. Oh yeah, the hills here are great. And then it's not hard to social distance.
Nope, it's not. Well, guys,
But,
man,
yeah,
this
the
has
dogs
been.
love it, that's for sure.
I bet the dogs freaking love that, dude. I bet.
Hey,
they
Tom,
love it.
real
What's
quick,
up, my brother?
I wanted to get some comments on the last Brikey Headgear fight. I know, Kaelyn, you probably watched it. Tom, anybody, you want to give your 2 cents, Kaelyn? What do you think about the dog fight about that one?
That was a good fight. I wasn't expecting it. I I mean, I know Frank Edgar's been around for a long time, and I wasn't expecting him to put up such a good fight like that at a lower weight class after his, his whole career that he's had so far. I don't know. It's almost like I was surprised, like, when Jose Aldo came down to his weight class, and I thought he was going to die, but apparently he was just fine. So I don't know about what they say about Frank Edgar. Probably should have been in that weight class the whole time. I don't know, but the fight was good.
That fight was great, and you know what, man? Lately, I've been seeing it a lot, and I'll say it again. I always talk to friends about it. I feel like these older guys, like to me, it's sad seeing these old guys hop back in there, even if they have a love for it or whatever. It is, to me, it's sad. I like seeing them win, of course, but it seems like these promotions are throwing a lot of these old guys. They're throwing them to like the younger lions in a way. Like if the young new guy can beat a guy like Frankie, then he's gonna move up. But Frankie did great. The fight I liked that night, though, that you was the women's fight. It was Maria Agapova versus Shayna Dobson. Now, that one girl, she came out. Oh my goodness, she was favored to win. If you guys saw that fight, the Russian girl, I believe. Hey, and she was on fire. She put out about a minute of fury. Like she almost finished the other girl a couple times, but she burned herself out. And I just wonder if this smoky air or this atmosphere had something to do with that. Because I've seen that girl fight before, never seen her get tired. But she had an adrenaline burst. Did you see that fight, Archie?
I missed that one, but I did see the replay. I didn't see it live. No, that was an amazing barn burner.
Watch that whole fight. Hey, she goes out there brutal, bro. And that chick is brutal. But, hey, she blew her wad, and that other girl turned it around. Did you see that fight, Kaelyn?
Yeah, I saw it. To be honest, I didn't even know who the other girl was. Thompson. I didn't even know who that was.
I didn't know who either one of them were. I didn't know who either one of them were.
But, I mean, even if the other girl is favored to win, it's still a fight. You don't know what's going to happen. Anything could happen. Maybe she didn't feel good. I don't know. You don't know that. So you're not getting the two fighters at their 100% on the same day. I don't think you'll ever get that, but maybe close. True. But you never know. Maybe she is still the better fighter and she lost that day. Who knows? But good job to the other girl. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, you know what,
true.
Tom, you know what, guys, you know one thing for sure, what part of the country, the region that is really kicking ass right now and fighting MMA, they're doing it in Bellator. You just talked about UFC. I'm sure other organizations, but right now, because Bellator, UFC are having fights. Our Mr. Ryan Bader just got his butt handed to him.
That's another example of what I'm talking about.
The old, they got some killer fighters out there coming out of Russia right now. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Took long enough, but
yes.
All of those.
Hey, I've always had a lot of belief in Russian fighters, man.
Yeah. They're tough.
I just wanted to point that out that, it just so happens that we have a guest that has some heritage from Russia, and I'm not kind of leaning in that favor, but it's just, I mean, you got Khabib, right? You got the Khabib family. He has some serious cousins, and as a matter of fact, even in the Valley, there's amateur fighters from Russia fighting for AKA. One of my sons actually fought against one of the guys from their team. He lost. My son was 3-0, and this guy came in at, I think, 3-2. Bro,
that kid was tough.
Bro. Yeah. Anyhow, I mean, they're in the house, man.
They have a lot of heart. Bottom line, man, they have a lot of drive, a lot of heart, and a lot of will. Just like your son. Hey, man, like these girls talked about it. You know what? Hey, and that day was probably pretty. I was there with you. You know what I mean? I remember you looking over to me after and saying, "Man, he took his first loss." Hey, that was probably the best lesson of your son's life right there. And your son, man. Your son is a beast. I've seen him fight. I've seen his fights. You girls talked about it. Hey, we say it every show. A loss, I don't care what sport it's in. Hey, winning is great, but if you can take a loss and overcome it, go back to the gym, train, and not quit. The main thing is you don't quit, right? And jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, boxing, wrestling, the main thing is you do not quit. And man, dude, the life experiences that you guys will get from it, a loss can be the greatest thing ever. It can be. Hard thing to say, hard thing to live with. And, man, you go back and it'll give you nightmares. It can make a grown man cry or a grown woman cry or a child cry or a father that sees their kid. You know what I mean? Hey, it's a tripping thing, dude.
It's
I had a horrible time after one of my first losses. That thing was like, it was like my first heartbreak after a girl broke up with me. Like, you ever feel that? You know what I mean? That first loss in the fight, it got me for weeks. Man, for weeks it had me like bad. But I just get back in the gym, keep training, and then you know what I mean? You go on to the next level and you don't quit. What do you think about that, guys?
If you can overcome it, keep moving forward and not quit. I mean, just deal with it. Keep moving forward. Keep training. It can work for you if you can get over the mental hurdle of, oh my God, I lost, I suck, and not take it. It's not who you are, and don't take it personal, and just be like, okay, that day was not my best day, and you move forward and say, okay, I'm gonna make my next one better, and just keep moving forward. That's all you can do. We take losses in life. We take losses in the ring. We take losses in the cage. You have to keep, this coronavirus is kicking all of our ass. We're all taking a loss. We have to just keep moving forward.
Yeah. I am not letting this coronavirus get me, dude. It's pissed me off, dude. I'm so over this damn thing.
I'm so over it.
Hey, Tom, you know what I just wanted to point out, just the beauty of the show is that, you know, in this case, there was, you know, 2 women, but it could be 2 guys, but just the experience levels, right? You know, Kaelyn is doing this for fun. She loves to do the sport, and it could be anybody that just wants to exercise every day. And now we have Ashley, you know, at the pro level. Kaelyn, they both breathe and sleep this stuff, but you know, the passion and the body types and the you know, just the ability to do this. It's not for everyone to become pro. Look at Kaelyn. I mean, shit, she's kicking ass at what she's doing. She loves it, and it's just getting out there and doing it. What do you think, ladies?
Well, I think, say, you know, you could, like, I've lost, most of my fights, but it's like, if you quit, I mean, maybe you shouldn't be doing it. Obviously, you don't really want to do it that bad. If I lost every time, I'd still do it, you know, so.
That's the passion and the love, Tom.
You guys picked really 2 good women to come and represent Muay Thai in general and women's Muay Thai in the Valley, because both these girls don't quit. It doesn't matter win or lose, they're not going to quit. Ashley's last fight didn't go her way. It was probably the worst loss she's ever had, but she doesn't quit. She doesn't stop training. Just like Kaelyn said, I have a lot of respect for both these girls because they don't quit. They fight. When Kaelyn trained with me back in the day, she took a fight against a girl that was not winnable. And I'm like, let's don't do this. Let's don't do this fight. I know I want this fight. You want that fight?
No, I'm going to do it.
We have another fight already on the books. Let's just take that fight. This person's only 2-1. This other person's 6-3 or whatever. And you're 0-0. It's like, no, I want this fight. I'm like, all right. And she went out there and she tried hard and she worked hard. And the girl, it was not a good first round. And in between rounds, I'm like, we can stop this. She's like, no, I want to go back out there. No, we can stop it right now. You don't got to go back out there. No, I want to go back out there.
I'll die out there first.
Wow.
She doesn't quit. And they both, Ashley, there's no quit. They both represent what Muay Thai really is. In Thailand, when you fight, they don't say, what's your record? When you say, I'm a fighter. They say, how many fights do you have? Right? So Kaelyn has somewhere around 6 or so. Ashley has somewhere around 23 or so. And to be a fighter, your record does not make you a fighter. Your ability to overcome your own fear, your own doubt, your own apprehension to step in that ring or cage and let someone beat the shit out of you is what makes you a fighter. To face what's coming and to make that walk, then that's what makes you a fider.
Yeah, well said. Damn.
With Ashley, I'll say this: she's not on, so maybe she won't hear. She can go back and watch it later. But I love her like a daughter. But she's a monster, and MMA does kind of take precedence in the Valley. It has a rich heritage in the Valley, going all the way back to catchy fights and WEC. And so Muay Thai does get overlooked, but Ashley's going to start. As soon as there's fights, we're allowed to have fights again. Ashley's going to start making a splash in MMA, and just the way we took over the Muay Thai scene, she's going to take over the MMA scene, and people are going to start knowing more about Muay Thai in the Valley.
There you go. And I'm sure, Kaelyn, when you're ready, and when that competition comes back, you're going to get out there and lace them up and kick some people, right?
Yeah, when I lose like 20 pounds, geez, man, it's been hard. It's been hard.
It's all right. Hey, when the time comes and you got a fight coming, you'll get it off. No problem.
Yeah. It's just, what the hard thing is right now is you don't know when it's coming back. That's the hardest thing. It's like, yeah, you can train and do what you love still, but man, I need a date. I need a date to look forward to. I want a date that, you know.
I hear you. And you know what? Just like we're talking about different industries, right? Jiu-jitsu, you know, that's one of the areas that I compete in, is and they're having dates already. They have tournaments in Florida.
Right.
I think the IBJJF is in Florida.
I'm doing them here.
Not in California, right? In a couple of states, I think Texas, they had one. But anyhow, yeah, just competition. We need a date. We need to find out when, but not this year.
Well, some of my people, like I have a girl that wants to go to Florida to do that just because she wants to compete in something. She wants to do something.
Crazy.
With the coronavirus and the shutdown, not having something to look forward to, a reason to train, people get apathetic. So I told Ashley, I told some of my other fighters, scour the freaking country. You find a fight, we'll go. I mean, Ashley's fought all over the United States. We fought in up and down California, Arizona. We fought in Florida. We fought in New York. If there's a fight somewhere, we're gonna go. If you guys can find it, we'll go do it. We'll do it.
Bottom line, guys, you got to stay ready.
Stay ready. There you go.
Something's
Run.
coming. Run. Stay running. Do what you got to do. Well, guys, hey man, we're getting low on time right here. It's been a beautiful day. It's been a great episode 101 for us, guys. You're episode 101. We want to thank you guys for coming on. Coach Sean, Ashley Thiner, Kaelyn, thank you so much. Archie, thanks again, man. We made it happen again, brother.
Yeah, no, it's only getting better, you know, and all the guests just put together. It's just a fun time just to learn about, you know, today was Muay Thai. Tomorrow will be actually, what's his name? The guy.
I got something sick coming up, guys.
We'll keep it under down low right now. It's coming out, but yeah, it's just fun. All the guests just kind of moving MMA forward in some way, you know, with enthusiasts that like Kaelyn, like Ashley, like Sean. I mean, just like everybody that we have on the show, we got to talk MMA, and you know, we're still training. So if we're training, we got to keep it in the blood somehow. And luckily, there's some shows out there. You know, shout out to Manny Mancha, you know, out there also, and everybody that trains with him. But yeah, you know, it's just the park or not in the park. People still train.
Yeah, we're still training. We train here. We're training. We're training. We're shut down. But yeah, we have to talk MMA. What we're doing, we have one of the best wrestlers around teaching wrestling a couple nights a week. We have Mike Moreno teaching our jiu-jitsu. So we
guy right there.
Yeah, we're a Muay Thai gym. We bleed Muay Thai, but a few nights a week here and there, we're getting our MMA in because, like I said, you know, Ashley and some of my other fighters, they're going to come out and they're going to take over MMA just the way they did Muay Thai.
And Mike Moreno is a hell of a good guy to have. Mike Moreno is a friend of ours. Mike Moreno is a real OG that goes back to the WEC days on the tribal land at the WEC. And Mike Moreno, he's maybe teaching jiu-jitsu, but that's a bad boy right there with striking as well.
Oh, yeah.
He trained with the real OGs back then, man. I remember Mike. Yep, I remember Mike walking out there with the brothers in his corner. You know what I mean? Like, Mike is a good dude. Man, we wish you guys the best, man.
We got out there another OG. We got Abbas doing our wrestling.
There you go,
Steven.
There you go, right there.
You can't get
any better than that for wrestling.
Guys.
No, sir.
Yeah, no, Mr. Silver Medalist, man, Steven Abbas.
That's a hell of a combo.
Yeah,
That's a hell of a combo.
Crazy.
And you got Coach Sean for top-notch striking, not just on the pad work, but Sean has game plans. He's been around, has experience. And you can catch these girls in there from time to time. Ashley Thiner, kaelyn Grigorieff.
Yeah.
I said it right.
Our local wrestling.
Grigorieff. That was more like an Italian accent right there. kaelyn Grigorieff.
I'll take that over what everybody else says.
Okay.
Right.
Anyway, hey, man, you guys want to give a shout out to any of your sponsors or anything before we shut this baby down?
Sean, we'll start with you.
I'm just glad to be here. I'm glad that you guys are representing Muay Thai in the Valley. I don't have any sponsors. I don't have any of that. Well, All Out Battle and Blackout Fight Gear, they make gear for us. So I'll shout out those guys. They're great. Nico's awesome. He's always been there to help out. But yeah, I just love Muay Thai and want to promote Muay Thai and fighting in general.
Awesome. We love it. Kaelyn.
Well, I don't have any sponsors, but shout out to my gym, Manny Mancha Kickboxing Gym. I know he just started his gym. He hasn't been around too long, but he comes from Malapit. But it's the perfect place for me. I know a lot of people feel the same way. So shout out to him for sure.
Shout out to him for sure. And Ashley, man, she keeps cutting out, but she is up there in Squaw Valley. Guys, all these guys, everybody on the show today, you know what? There's a lot of people that do want to sponsor people that are out there that watch the show. Hey, reach out to myself, Tom Owens, Archie Tovar. You can reach out to Coach Sean. You can reach out to Kayla. You can reach out to Ashley, all on social media. Hey, man, put your sponsor on one of these guys' shirts or one of these girls' shirts. Couple bucks, you know what I mean? Help a person out.
We're willing to put a sponsor on all of our fighters' gear. You sponsor one of us, you sponsor all of us. We're a family, you know.
There it is right there. Nice. We are all a family. We're all here to help one another. That's I know. Me and Archie, man, MMA, the goal of MMA Fight Pass and the HAMMERFIST podcast, our company, MMA Fight Pass, hopefully we're going to get to a level where we are making money off advertisements, sponsors, and we're going to be able to help fighters out, you know what I mean? We will put our name on your shirt and be able to sponsor you. I can see that day coming anytime soon. But up until then, hey, there's a lot of local companies, man. A lot of fight gear companies out there. People selling MMA gear. And, hey, places to eat. Right, Archie? Places to eat, drink, whatever the heck, man. Go sponsor out.
I don't want to get on a soapbox, but these girls like Ashley and Brittany and Kaelyn and the amateur fighters who fight, these are the guys you want to sponsor because they do it because they love it. They're not getting paid. They're not prize fighters. They're fighting out of love and passion for whatever MMA or jiu-jitsu or Muay Thai, whatever sport or fight style they're using. Those are the people you want to sponsor because they're paying for their training. They're paying to do some of these tournaments. They're not getting paid by the promoter. They're fighting. They're putting on a show.
We have to pay to fight.
And they have to pay to fight.
Okay.
I spent like over $100 trying to fight, that day.
That's just fighting that day. That's not counting, like Sean just said, the food.
Doesn't include the gym and your coaches and all that.
The private training. Private training, diet, all that. They're not
getting
help. So if you run, I'm not a sushi guy myself, but like you said, restaurant. If you have some sort of healthy restaurant, sponsor some of these fighters. Give them a free meal. Do something.
Yeah, that's true.
That's right. Well, we got the Pokerito, man. He's growing. All of us, man. I can see in the next year, Archie, if we keep this thing going, it's going to be a whole different thing that we see and we're talking about. So, episode 101. Guys, we're going to have you back on the show again soon. Hopefully, if you guys want to or you guys agree to. Until then, hey, man, we wish you the best in life.
Yeah, thank you,
your families, your friends. I hope everything goes good for you guys, man, whatever you're doing. And help somebody else out there. We're going to help one another. We're going to keep this thing going. We're going to keep it flowing. And, you guys have a great life, man. And I just hope everything goes good for you. School's going to open back up. The virus is going to go away. We're all going to keep on flowing. So, you guys have a great night. It was great having you guys on the show.
Thank you.
Right, we'll catch up later, Kaelyn. Thanks a bunch.
Thank you.
Yeah, talk to you guys soon.
We'll let you guys out. And me and Archie will close this baby up.
Yeah.
It's like that, Arch.
Very good. Very good.
All right, guys. So, episode 101. Guys, we're still live right now. We're on a day off. We're still working with this technology and learning stuff. Ashley, I just got a message from her. She had a bad connection, guys, and she apologized for the bad connection. But we thank Ashley for coming on, kaelyn Grigorieff, and Coach Sean. We thank you guys for coming on. And Archie, thanks a lot for keeping it going, dude.
Yeah,
Chris
no, thank
Ronquillo.
Chris Ronquillo's the man. Thanks, Tom. No, I mean, you're awesome, Tom. We're all getting better at this. We're improving our skills, and what an amazing thing we got going on here, right? We now have 2 podcasts, Tom. We have our Spanish podcast in Espanol, but you know what? It's one brand under MMA Fight Pass, one website, one YouTube channel, one Facebook, one family,
Yep.
one.
Hey, check it out though. It is one brand, but let's talk about that just for a second. Guys,
that,
don't
Tom?
forget the new Spanish podcast. Hey, the first one was great. You guys got close to 2,000 views on that first episode already. The Spanish podcast, real quick, is that going to be every Saturday, Archie? How's that going to work?
Once a week, every Friday.
Every Friday at what time, you think?
10:30 a.m. We're going to earmark it for 10:30 a.m. Once a week, every Friday. We have a couple of guests already booked this week from Spain.
Ooh.
One's a Spanish fighter. She's her name is Vanessa Del Rio or Vanessa Rios. And then we have an artist from Spain that's an MMA fan. And we're kind of mixing it up. And I think in our realm, we thank JC Llamas for these ideas, and I think we're going to migrate a lot of those ideas on our side too.
Well, yeah, JC Llamas is definitely a bonus to our company for sure. Not only is he a skilled martial artist, because I've watched like his footage and stuff. Dude's a skilled martial artist. Not only that, though, he's got some great ideas. Hey, and we evolved a little bit today off of one of his ideas. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All this is new to us. Like that promo video that I put out today, guys. That was an idea we copied off of JC Lamas's video, right? He made the promo video.
Yeah.
Hey, I kind of had an idea like that a while back, and he did it. And I go, man, that was a good idea right there. Now it talked about what was coming up, and boom.
Yeah.
So now on,
no, go ahead, Tom.
No, I can see that even getting better and better though in the future.
Oh yeah, heck yeah, and I think that's just an amazing footage you put together, Tom. That was badass, man, and you did well. I really, really, really liked it, actually. You know what I mean?
Hey, I'll tell you what, dude. When that, how we were talking about earlier, when you get that little feeling in the back of your head, that dopamine, that little like weird little feeling. Hey, dude, there was something about that editing when I connected that video and I finally got it to work. Hey, dude, I had like the best feeling. I'm not even kidding you guys, man. Like it was something that I could see myself doing in the future, like the editing. I got a great joy out of it. I'm not kidding. Like I was messing with that freaking app and the computer all day today. It was pissing me off, dude. It was, hey man, I was about ready to smash my fist to this damn computer, dude. And once I finally figured it out, like it was right in front of my face, and I figured it out. Oh, dude, I can just see good things coming in the future with it. But anyhow, it's fun, dude. This is good stuff. It's good stuff.
Hey, Tom,
man.
no, it is great stuff, man. And just like you said, I just wanted to show that video one more time to our fans. Let me know if you're able to hear the audio.
I want to hear the music behind it.
Yeah, I want to see.
1, Ashley Dinah. 2, kaelyn Grigorieff. Now, both of these women put it all on the line when they step into the ring, and they put it all on the line in everyday life. Here's a clip of Ashley. Check it out.
Can you hear it?
Yeah. Here's Ashley Dinah.
You can hear that, Tom?
Yes.
All right, we're going live with this clip, so
it's a little bit choppy, but you can see it still.
Say again?
It's a little bit choppy, but I can still see it though. So we'll definitely get it more dialed in as we go along. This is our first day messing with that right there. You know what I mean?
I like it. Yeah, we'll just get it dialed in with the quality and all that stuff.
Yeah, and see, I did that off of my phone. Like I think there's actually apps that can go on this laptop, and I know there's really good video apps. It could be sick, dude. We need to get together this week. We need to get together in person, bro.
As long as Ashley Diner, but she's an up and comer, and we have high hopes for her.
Can you hear yourself?
Muay Thai and
Yes.
Check out this clip of kaelyn.
All right, good. All right. Good job, Tom. It's all working. You got it. We're
Okay,
testing
so now
live
this-
right now
Yeah.
over the internet.
Yes, sir. Hey, so both of those chicks, man, pretty cool. It's cool that they represent the Central Valley and they're coming out of Fresno. You know what I mean? Hey, they both train with some legit ass people too.
Yeah, how about that car?
Oh, bro, if I had my hands on that, on the car. I'll get my ass kicked by one of these chicks, dude. I better watch what I say.
Right. She has some nice combinations, man. She was throwing some cool ass combinations.
Yeah, that fight, she actually lost that fight. And to the other girl, Day Day, maybe we can get her on the show one of these times. Day Day is an experienced Muay Thai fighter, and Day Day, I forget her last name, but I know her. They call her Day Day. She won that fight against kaelyn, and if you watch the whole fight, Day Day is a skilled woman kickboxer as well. She had a lot of experience, but kaelyn, her first fight hopped right in there with a chick like that, dude.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yes, dude. That tells you a lot about a person when they do that.
Yeah,
they're willing. Like,
tough.
oh, I want to fight someone that only has no fights like me. No, she hopped in there with a chick that had a lot of fights, dude, and a lot of experience. So yeah, hey, I give it, dude. You know me, man. Dude, I give it up to anybody that steps onto a mat or any kind of competition surface, whether it's getting inside of a ring or a cage or just a wrestling mat or a jiu-jitsu match. You got all my respect, man, because, dude, it's something else. You're stepping into a zone where you don't have any control of. You think you do, but we don't know what the outcome's going to be, man. When you step into that competition ring, it's a whole different thing. We'll talk about it a lot on this show. But me and Archie both know we're not the most experienced competitors. We both do have competition, though, and we've experienced those moments, right, Archie?
Yeah.
It's something else, dude.
Absolutely, Dom. No, it's amazing to have all, be around the people that compete, being able to compete, seeing the people that train to compete, and just what it takes, right?
Yep, just what it takes. So yeah, with that, guys, Archie, you want to give a quick shout out to the sponsors, bud?
Right now we have Venom Drip. We're still working with them, and Venom Drip is an amazing guy. Let me get their video up here so that we can actually show our Venom.
So guys, like we were talking with these girls, sponsors, guys, we're looking for advertisements, man. We want to make. Me and Archie are working with like the low budget technology you can do to do something like this. We want to put money into the show and grow and grow and grow. We need sponsors, man. We need to put advertisements on this bad boy. Venom Drip, he's one of the guys helping us. Hey, and this guy has, if you want some competition gear or you want some cool duds to wear to support MMA or jiu-jitsu or whatever, Venom Drip, they got rash guards, they got shirts, patches, hats, different things like that. And they're out there trying to help and support local fighters. There's one of our guys right there, one of my students and training partners, Anthony Torres, wearing a Venom Drip shirt right there.
Yeah, no, absolutely, Tom. I wanted to say that Venom Drip, they have their clothing line available online also at venomdrip.com. And you personally train here with Mr. Torres, and he's being sponsored and supported by Venom Drip. And then we got a slew of fighters, right? Local fighters that are being supported. He supports MMA fighters of all levels, right?
Yep.
Tell us a little bit about Anthony. How's he doing right now?
Dude, Anthony, man, Anthony and his girl, they're just experiencing the miracle of life right now, man. They just had a baby. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anthony Torres is one of the coolest dudes ever. He trained at a Team KO Farmersville. And I had the, how would I say it? Well, just an honor to be able to teach jiu-jitsu out there at Team KO Farmersville, a real tough group of guys right there. That's where I met Anthony Torres, and that's him right there in the red tank top. A real good wrestler, a solid wrestler, been wrestling since he was a young kid, and he jumped into MMA. One thing about Anthony, though, is he has a great attitude, very respectful to all his coaches, super respectful to his opponent before win or lose. Just an all-around good dude. And just like the Venom Drip guy, that's why Venom Drip, sponsored him. They see he's a guy like that. You know what I mean?
And you're describing pretty much what Venom Drip's about, right? They support good people because they are good people. They support people that put in the effort. And we saw Ness, Zeal Jiu-Jitsu earlier in one of these pictures. We saw Anthony in one of these pictures. And they were both high-level competitors. And that's what Venom Drip's about, is supporting high-level competitors and even entry-level, right? I mean, if you guys need a sponsor, hit up Venom Drip as well.
Yes, sir. Exactly. So Venom Drip. Who else we got still on the roster of sponsors, Arch?
We got a couple in queue, but we're gonna just give Venom Drip the sole shout out today. They deserve it. Venom Drip is like the company that has been around, for a while, and they're doing it up, right, helping different people.
All right, well, there it is, and there's Zeal right there, Ness, Zeal Jiu-Jitsu. Guys, these banners that we got going, man, we're always looking for, like I said, man, we're looking for sponsors, man. We're looking for people to help support the show. So hit up myself, Tom Owens. You can hit me up through social media, Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. You can hit up Archie Tovar. You can hit up Chris Ronquillo. Right, Archie? What's the best way to get a hold of us if you want to be a sponsor for our show?
They could definitely just hit us up directly, right, to our Facebook Messenger inboxes. That banner that you're talking about, Tom, behind you, we do have sponsors there. We're going to give them a shout out on the next show, but we have sponsors to put on the banners, to give shout outs live on the videos. And then of course we post this on YouTube, and it's going to be there for viewers to look at it.
Just like that.
Cool. Let's close
awesome,
it.
Dude.
Nice.
Awesome. What a day, man. This is my day off, but today's been like a mental battle getting through this, but cool. This shows
you kicked ass, my brother. You kicked ass.
Hey, dude. These last couple of days, man. This last week has been kind of crazy, dude. So, today was kind of a relief. Now I'm gonna go cook up the family some chicken tacos. I got homemade salsa made.
Ooh.
Oh, bro, it's getting ready to go down right now, dude. I got broccoli. I'm gonna saute on the side. Archie.
Nice.
Good Lord. Hey, I've been doing some tremendous cooking. You got to come over one of these nights for dinner, dude.
Yeah, no, definitely. Well, we're working on a new sponsor, this new restaurant that's going to sponsor us here pretty soon. We'll give out the names pretty soon, Tom, and we'll have access to the kitchen. We'll bring you in there. Maybe you can cook something up for us.
Yeah, what we'll do, too, is just to give them props, me and you will go down there and get a little meal, dude, do a little shot. You know what I mean?
There you go. Yeah.
A little shot out.
We'll do a show.
All right. Well, guys, I'm going to keep it a secret only because Archie said, but September 2nd, guys, hey, it's high profile again. We have an awesome guest, and this guy, I've been working on it for a while. He is a real historian. He's a legend in the world of BJJ. It's a cool ass dude right here. I got to train with him only once in my lifetime, like 15 years ago, but he's well known all around the United States, all around the world, really. One of the first American black belts in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I'll say no more than that. But
how about saying one more thing? What is that elite group called? The pack
the
of
Dirty Dozen. The Dirty Dozen. The Dirty Dozen guys. You can do the research on your own, but you're going to get a lot of the history. We're going to get the real history when we have this guest. But the Dirty Dozen was the first 12 Americans to get a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu under legit, and he's one of those guys. And he's a tough guy to lock down. He finally told me I had given up on him, but he sent me a message out of nowhere, and he says, hey, you know what, man? I've been real busy, but my wife is the one to talk to, and she also trains. He says, my wife is the one to talk to that can lock me down on a schedule. And so I just started dealing with her, and she was super cool. And, man, we got it locked down, guys. September 2nd at 2 o'clock. Okay, that show. I'm going to put out a video. Me and Archie will have a promo video out within the next couple days. So it's not that big of a secret. But we still have this Thursday, guys. I don't know what Archie has planned. That's also a secret. But we'll most likely this Thursday at 2 p.m. we'll be back in action again. We'll have somebody on here just
That's
to
right.
talk and keep, you know what I mean?
Hey,
Keep
Tom,
it going.
I wanted to keep you on the video, but I'm looking at the banner behind you. You got Venom Drip on there. You got Team Yamas. You got Universal Grill, J&J Mobile Media. You got
Yeah.
LFR, La
Glepler.
Familia, La Familia
Glepler
Records.
Digital Media.
Yeah, Glepler Digital Media, Team Yamas, Team HAMMERFIST Podcast, MMA Fight Pass. Follow us on YouTube. Nice. Look at all that. Woo.
Yes. Beautiful. Hey, I need a tripod.
Yeah, we need to get that banner hanger thingy. Absolutely.
If I had that, I could get it like perfectly behind me, like how
It'll
you
be
have
right
yours.
behind you. Yeah, just like what we got going here.
You know what though, man? Nothing's perfect. Hey, dude, and I don't care, man. You know what? Like I'll let people know. Hey, right now I'm in my niece's bedroom. But Danica, you see those flowers? You see her name? Hey, she's got the Wi-Fi box in here, bro. And this is the spot in the house where it's the best Wi-Fi.
There you go.
Line. But hey, we're working on it. I'll
All
let
right.
you know a little bit. Tio will let you know a little bit about what's going on in the real life, dude.
All right, Tom.
Archie. All right, guys. So we almost made it to 2 hours, perfect length. You know what I mean?
Dang.
Normally, what we do about an hour with the guest.
But
But
today was amazing. Yeah.
somebody out there will watch or listen to this video while they're out running or something. You know what I mean? It'll get this. These podcasts will get somebody through a drive to work or maybe a work day. It's weird how I listen to podcasts. Usually
On
when
Saturdays, these podcasts are being broadcasted through cmac.tv.
Yeah.
We need to get these specific channels. We'll put them on the screen.
Yes.
But we're now being broadcasted in like 5 other channels, cable channels. We're being broadcasted throughout the world. It's pretty.
Yeah, it's going to be throughout the world, and dude, and that's going to keep on. I see that keep on growing and growing and growing. And with this new technology that's coming out, the sky's the limit, man. The sky's the limit. It's going to be a trip. What happens with technology in the next year? It's really going to change quite a bit within the next few months. It's already happening real quick.
Yeah.
So anyhow,
right,
man, we'll keep it going, dude.
All right. Thanks a lot, Tom.
All right, you guys out there, we love you guys. You get a chance to help somebody, guys, help one another, man. That's one of T.O.'s messages. And sponsor the show, sponsor somebody in life, and whatever you can do. We'll see you guys Thursday or September 2nd. But most likely it'll be this next Thursday, guys.
You got it, Tom.
All right? Love you guys.